Hello viewers, I am Duality and welcome to the Holotables. Today, we will be discussing the best first steps for an account that just reached level 85 in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I started a new alternate account recently and I will be incorporating some of these ideas into it. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Our first and potentially most radical idea is to relic Bosk first. As you may know, or will soon find out, fleets are one of the most important parts of Galaxy of Heroes. The extra crystals from Fleet Arena can sometimes be your highest source of income. Therefore, starting off strong with your fleets will give you an extra boost to every other aspect of the game. Now, the Houndstooth is undoubtedly one of the best ships in Galaxy of Heroes, shrugging off staggering amounts of damage like they were nothing, and giving your other units the time to shine that they may not otherwise have. With those facts in mind, and the fact that relicking units increases their ship's overall performance, relicking Bosk seems like an optimal way to ensure your crystal inflow is maximized. After all, using a 4-star Houndstooth with a Relic 5 Bosk versus him at Gear 12 raises your health by over 9% and your protection by over 15%. This may not make a difference several months into the game when everyone has a few relics, but for the first month or two, you are almost guaranteed top 20 in your fleet shard, netting an extra 100 crystals per day. I started my newest alternate account on July 31st, getting the Hyperspeed bundle and relicking Bosk on August 5th, and as of August 7th, I'd hit number 1 in my Fleet Arena shard, netting me an additional 400 crystals. This was with a 5-star Houndstooth and a Relic 5 Bosk. In addition to Fleet Arena, a Bosk ship will serve you well in Grand Arena, Territory Wars, and Territory Battles, even without all 7 stars. And Bosk on his own is no wimp either. Unlike Plo Koon, Bosk is one of the most important members of a key team, even operating as arguably the best bounty hunter leader. Not to mention that if you are really looking to boost your fleet game with a meta ship, Relic 5 Bosk and 7-star Houndstooth account for 1/7 of the Executor grind. However, if you are struggling to come up with the pieces to go from Gear 12 to 13, this next tip may be for you. While there can be lots of great deals found in the shop, some of the best are a little more hidden. If you want character shards fast, packs like the Imperial Trooper bundle or the Phoenix Squad bundle are hard to beat. What you may not know, however, is the sheer value of Gear Up bundles. Each Gear Up bundle comes with character shards specific to that pack and, more importantly, 5 out of 6 Gear 12 pieces for that character. Everything except for the injector piece at the bottom right. While you can use the pieces for the included character, there's nothing restricting you to just them. One of my personal hacks is to purchase a Gear Up bundle for someone that I already reliced and use the extra gear to quickly level up GLs and other Journey Guide characters. So, if that sounds too good to be true, you might be wondering about the price of these bundles. $20 US, or the equivalent currency in your country. For reference, that's the equivalent to a little under 3,000 crystals. A single Gear 12 piece goes for anywhere from $2,100 up to $5,750. Even taking into account the extra $10 needed to get the Gear Up bundle to show up, you're still saving about 13,300 crystals, or the equivalent to almost $90 US. You may be wondering if there is a catch, and unfortunately, there is. 2 of them. As hinted at earlier, you will need to spend an extra $10 to unlock the Gear Up bundle. That will get you anywhere from an extra 65 to 135 shards of that particular character. If that character is already at 7 stars, then it will become a ton of shard shop currency, accelerating the gear grind even further. Other caveat, unfortunately, is that there are a limited amount of these bundles. I haven't finished figuring out every character that has one, but I have determined that almost all of them are for requirements from the Journey Guide, such as the Revens, Grand Inquisitor, Starkiller, and Dr. Aphra. Up to you to determine if you are willing to spend the money. You can't deny that the deal has a lot of value. Upgrading character abilities is one of the most important aspects of this game. Out of these, Zetas are probably the most crucial material for reaching level 8 on your abilities. Although not as scarcely found as Omicrons and not as commonly used as Omegas, Zetas are the middle ground between rarity and usefulness. Omicrons can be great for specific game modes and are typically quite powerful in that mode, but they take so long to accumulate and are useless in modes outside of their intended use. Zetas, on the other hand, are powerful in any game mode and typically game changers for that unit. So the question then becomes, which Zeta is best for a starting player? There are a few answers to this question, and it's really up to you to decide what is best in your specific case. The first option is Merciless Massacre. This ability makes Darth Vader the juggernaut he is. Taking several extra turns, one for each active enemy, is a game changer, and in addition to turning him into an offensive titan, it will give a little boost to his TIE advance. Another solid option is the Zeta Bosk's Leader ability, On the Hunt. This ability makes your bounty hunter team one of the best non-GL all-around teams in the game and gives a small boost to the Houndstooth. The last recommended use for your first Zeta is to get to level 8 on an Omicron character. Some Omicrons are laughably bad. However, others can completely change a character. Some examples for Grand Arena include Qui-Gon Jinn, Savage Opress, Iden Versio, or a few months in, Darth Traya. Using a Zeta so that you can go for the Omicron is never a bad idea. Make sure to do your research and upgrade what's best for you. One of the most important aspects of Galaxy of Heroes is the guild experience. From territory wars to territory battles, much of your gear and other materials will come from events that you can't complete alone. For exclusive character shards like Han and General Kenobi, along with hard-to-find gear at cheap prices, hard to beat raid currency. One of the trickiest parts of being a new player is finding a good guild doing a good raid. For this, I highly recommend recruit.swgoh.gg. Not only are tons of guilds listed on there, but they make it as easy as entering your ally code. As for what raid your guild should do, that answer is pretty easy too. Unless you have multiple relic units with the Battle for Naboo tag, save yourself some trouble and choose an active guild doing the speeder bike raid. You won't get any Raid 3 currency, but you will be getting a little bit more of Raid 1 and Raid 2 than you otherwise would. And in addition, you'll be using units you're probably already working on, like Captain Rex, Hera, Piet, and the Ewoks. Speaking of Ewoks, let's discuss the main reason people upgrade them and the journey guide as a whole. The journey guide can be a confusing and overwhelming place at first. Which legendary character to go for next can be a difficult question to answer. So, let's try to simplify it a little bit. Palpatine and Thrawn should be your first priority. Getting these characters to a high gear level will give a significant boost to your Grand Arena viability, and if you have Vader's Merciless Massacre Zeta, you have half of a pretty competitive early 5v5 team and a full 3v3 team. Just add Mara Jade in either Stormtrooper or Shore Trooper. Thrawn is also the commander of the Chimera, one of the best early game capital ships and competitive fleet in the mid and late games. Go for that next. After completing your Empire team, go for Yoda and R2. Yoda is pretty good on any Jedi or Galactic Republic team, and has viability with Jedi Knight Revan and Jedi Knight Luke later on. Using your Empire units to unlock R2 should be pretty easy, especially with the previously mentioned team. R2 himself is a decent support, but our main reason for getting him is for Commander Luke Skywalker. CLS is still one of the best non-GL teams in the game, with Chewbacca, 3PO, their combination character Chewpio, and guild token exclusive character Han Solo filling out the team. Chewbacca should be pretty easy with your, hopefully, Relic Bosk, and C-3PO's event is a pain, but made significantly easier by the recently accelerated farm Nisa, who I highly recommend for this event. After you have finished all of the journey guide events that we talked about, it's really up to you to pick which direction is best going forward. Only after Jedi Knight Luke using Raid 2 and Guild event currency to unlock Wampa and Hermit Yoda is a decent option, eventually going for Jedi Master Luke. Another good option is to go for a meta capital ship, like Executor, Negotiator, and the Marauder, or Radis and the Comeuppance. Also don't forget to circle back around and get BB-8, Jedi Training Rey, Padme, and the Rebel. In the end, it's up to you. Well, that's it for now, but let me know in the comments any questions, concerns, or corrections. Until then, I'll see you in the holotable.